Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about dangerous roads, and what you're looking at through my dash cam out of my office window today is I-81, and this particular section of video happens to be in Pennsylvania. I-81 starts off in Tennessee. It runs through Virginia, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and goes on up into New York. However, the most dangerous part of it is in Pennsylvania and Virginia. This is one of the roads, when we get to talking about infrastructure and what's really needed to help, I want you to pay attention to, while you're watching this video, to all the trucks that are going in the opposite direction of me. You'll notice a steady stream of trucks. Now this is one of the days, this was like January I want to say the 10th or something like that. It was, January is a slow time of the year. If you look at this in the spring or in the summer or fall or whatever, but it's just about bumper to bumper with trucks, big trucks. But you'll notice even here in January that the sheer volume of big trucks that are on this road in both directions, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it gets heavier at times. The slightest little hiccup, a fender bender, or any kind of an accident causes major backups that last for hours and hours. I have actually been in a backup here on I-81 down in Virginia that was so bad that I actually pulled the brakes on my truck, popped the brakes, went and got in the bunk and took a nap while I was waiting on the traffic to clear. It was hours and hours just waiting on the traffic to clear. When we start talking about infrastructure and what's needed in the country, this infrastructure bill they just passed is a joke. While there may be a few bridges that get fixed out of this, most of that did not go to actual roads and bridges and water lines and things that really need to get done. Most of that was pork that went to politicians' favorite projects and their anyway, I don't want to get into politics on this, but that was a joke. If you'll notice, the lanes here on I-81 are narrow. I tend to ride over, when I'm in the right-hand lane, I will ride with my tire running right down the edge of that white line because the lanes are so narrow. You'll notice that when I come up behind other big trucks that are ahead of me, they'll do the same things. The one in the left-hand lane, they tend to ride the yellow line because the lanes are so narrow, and any kind of a swerve, hitting a bump or hitting a rough spot in the road, you notice even the cars get into it. This car is going over to the left-hand side. When they pass me, they will, and this one here, same thing. Even though I'm riding the line on the white line, they get as far over as they can because the lanes are so narrow. Anytime you see this truck that's on the side of the road right there, I really could have and should have got over. I just couldn't do it. Anyway, anytime you see shadows on the road from the trees, you notice that the snow is out here. However, it snowed several days before, and they had plenty of time to salt down the roads and get the roads back dry and whatever. But anytime you see shadows on the road, like these trees that we're fixing to come up on right here, cast a shadow out on the road, or they may, depending on whichever way it is. Shadows cause cold spots on the road, and that causes ice. And whenever you get ice buildup, then's when you start having traffic problems and crashes and wrecks and whatever you want to call it. People get hurt over ice. Snow is not that big a deal as long as you can see the lines and see the road, but ice is a huge problem. And I-81 is one of the most dangerous roads in America. I'm showing you Pennsylvania here. Pennsylvania certainly has their problems. This road should be 6-laned, 3 lanes in each direction, and those lanes widened. These are real narrow lanes right here. You'll notice when I come up on a big truck here in a minute just how narrow this lane is. It doesn't allow you any kind of a weave factor or variation going from. You can see my shadow here. You see how close it is on both sides here and how little room there is. Anyway, infrastructure, this is what we need. This is one of the major roads that every truck driver that travels on I-81 or I-78, this is one of the major roads that needs a major overhaul from one end to the other, from Dandridge, Tennessee, all the way to over there on I-95, where I-78 and I-95 comes together over just south of New York City in New Jersey. New Jersey's, they have done some work on I-78, but it still is not 6-laned. For the amount of traffic that is on these roads coming and going, this is a major road from anything out of the Northeast, from Maine to Connecticut to Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, anything that's coming out of the Northeast, out of all of the industry and the manufacturing that's up there in those areas, that's going to the rest of the country. Most of it is coming down I-81. It's being trucked down I-81. It either goes south into the Carolinas and Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi, Tennessee, or it turns and goes west and goes on out to western Tennessee and Texas and Arkansas. I-40, I-80 connects into I-40 in Dandridge, Tennessee, and I-40 is the major east-west road. It's another road that needs to be 6-laned from coast to coast. A lot of it is 6-laned, but the vast majority of it is not 6-laned. Oklahoma is doing a really good job of 6-laning their portion of it. Portions of Arkansas is 6-laned. Very little of it in Tennessee is 6-laned. But it needs to be. This is the major artery coming off of the heart, the big artery, the aorta of the United States right here is I-78, I-81, and I-40. I know that some of the truckers are going to go, yeah, well, we go on I-80 and we go on I-70 and I-10 is a major one. Yeah, they are, I understand. But the major roads in America coming out of the Northeast is I-78, which goes over and hits I-81 and goes south. And you can see the truck ahead of me, see how little room he has on either side. And this is what you see, the shadows that are on the road here. Anytime you see shadows on the road is where you're going to have icy spots. So you have a narrow, a very narrow road. You see this guy, this JB Hunt is hanging. He's riding the yellow line over there. Me and this guy ahead of me, we're riding the white line over here. And even still, there's not that much room in between us when these trucks pass each other. Anyway, This really needs to get some attention, get somebody's, until they see it for themselves. They have no idea what you're talking about. The trucking companies have no idea what you're talking about. All they know is they need to get product from here to here. You're a professional driver, get it done. That's all they care about. But I can show you why the drivers do not like to go to the Northeast, and it's because of I-81, I-78, and I-40. Anyway, there are other major roads that need attention as well. I will give you that. This particular week, I have been bounced from New Jersey all the way over to Indiana. I've been running I-80 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I have spent my whole 70-hour clock running back and forth on I-80 this week. There's a major storm that's coming in tonight. This is Sunday night, and I'm due to go. Right now I'm over in Cary, Ohio. It's just started snowing. I'm in Cary, Ohio, and I'm going to Buffalo, New York in the morning. So anyway, I could talk to you. That's a Schaefer truck and another CRETE driver that I just passed here. These cruise controls that they have, the automatic cruise controls, you can come up behind somebody. You see this gray car that he's following right here. This gray car is doing about 55 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour speed limit. That cruise control, when you come up behind, the adaptive cruise control is the word I was trying to think of. When you come up behind somebody that's going slow like that, there's no warning, there's nothing that tells you you're slowing down. It just slows the truck down for you. And you'll be driving along there at 55 miles an hour until you actually look down at your speed limit or speedometer and realize that you're not doing the speed limit. You're 10 miles, 15 miles under the speed limit because you've come up behind somebody that's driving slow. Anyway, I'm not a fan of all this automatic stuff that's in these new trucks. But anyway, and this particular road, this automatic lane departure will absolutely drive you bananas. My driver code with CRETE is HODKE. If you're going to join CRETE, I would really appreciate it if you'd put my driver code down, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.